Today, on Be Something Wonderful, how to integrate and dissolve negative thoughts. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. I heard from one of you on the channel that said, Tom, with the idea of observing your thoughts and becoming the observer without identifying with them, I was wondering if you had any advice on how to do that without getting swept away. I'm observing my thoughts, and then as I let them go and I follow the trail of the thoughts, I get to the argument, for example, that I had with a person. And then I get caught up in the thoughts. I was wondering if you could unpack that. Well, guys, we're going to unpack this today and more. Here's the thing. Just your fact of saying that that's what happens, you're bringing awareness to it. The key is to bring awareness to the thoughts, to observe them. You're bringing the awareness that you actually get caught up in the thought. That's the first step. Hear this. And you're saying, and you said that I intellectually understand it, but understanding it intellectually is different than practice. Well, it's not an intellectual understanding that you're going for. Hear this, it's about bringing it to your awareness. It's even bigger than that. The biggest thing you can do is consciously, deliberately call forth that negative thought. Call forth that conversation. Hear this, instead of waiting for the other shoe to drop the other shoe. Hear this. I'm going to call it drop the other shoe method. Because what really gets us drawn in is because we're expecting to start feeling negative and thinking that thought. We're waiting for the other shoe to drop and wondering how we're going to react. Instead, deliberately drop the other shoe. Call forth that negative thought. Feel the feelings. Right? Feel the feelings to the end and then it ends. Right? Let it go. As you do that, as you deliberately go back and forth, you're now consciously creating. Now that thought and the conversation loses all power over you. Hear this. Otherwise, you're going to just be playing whack-a-mole. Right? This is what a lot of spiritual teachers say. You know, the mole comes up and you whack it. There's no bottom. You're going to keep having other thoughts and other things you're going to think about. You're going to just be hitting whack-a-mole. Right? Instead, call forth. Drop the other shoe. Right? It takes the legs right from under it. Hear this. Let's unpack this a little bit more. It's not about controlling your thoughts, but rather letting them be there and gently guiding your thoughts by telling a new story. Hear this. So it's not about controlling anything or resisting anything. It's about just guiding your thoughts where you want them to go, to your new story, to your wish fulfilled, your new desire, right? Stop playing the game of whack-a-mole. Right? I think Abraham Hicks and other spiritual teachers talk about that. But that's what you're doing when you get in that trap, right? You have more than 6,000 thoughts a day. Instead of judging them, analyzing them, sorting through them to determine what's good or bad, or playing game of whack-a-mole, all of that is in vain. Create the feeling state. Hear this. This is big. Or the emotional set point that attracts the corresponding more than 6,000 thoughts, right? Remember, one feeling can have thousands of thoughts attached to it. So go for the feeling, right? And on the other hand, when you're feeling something that's negative, feel it through, let it go. Drop the other shoe, call it forth, let it go, and then then all the associated thousands of thoughts or hundreds of thoughts that are associated with that feeling go away as well. It works both ways. This is big. So putting your attention only on what is wanted and your desires already fulfilled moves you to a state of feeling fulfilled where you attract like thoughts. So if you want 6,000 happy thoughts, move to that feeling place. It will start attracting them. Hear this. This is big. So put your attention on positive feeling rather than positive thinking, right? That's why they call it toxic positive thinking, that toxic positive thinking or whatever, some of the new age books that come out. Well, I get the idea that you can't, trying to force yourself to a positively affirm and positive thinking is not the way. Go for the feeling. That's what you can conjure within because it's already within you. You're made of that joy. You're made of good feelings. You were born like that. So you don't even have to struggle to get there. Hear this. A positive feeling state will attract thousands of like thoughts. Right? And this really goes to the teachings of Dr. David R. Hawkins, because he talks about letting go of that feeling, feeling the feeling to the end, ends the feeling. And then you let it go, right? This is what Hawkins says. One feeling, for instance, can create literally thousands of thoughts for a perceived period of time. The good news is, if that's a positive feeling, that's a good story, right? If it's a negative feeling, then you got to feel it and let it go, right? Drop the other shoe yourself, right? Let all that stuff run through your body, right? If we could surrender the underlying painful feeling of all those thoughts, all of those thoughts would disappear instantly. This is what Hawkins says, right? This is brilliant stuff. And then he goes on further. It's not thoughts or facts that are painful, but the feelings that accompany them. Hear that. It is always the feel. It's about the feelings anyway. Conjure the natural feelings of well-being within, right? And then if you're worried about a negative thought coming up, drop the shoe ahead of time. Go back and forth. Start getting conscious control. Then they lose all power over you, right? Feel the feelings. Let them pass through you. Feel them to the end, and they will end, right? Instead of trying to resist or get rid of or avoid negative thoughts and conditions, integrate them within the whole of who you are. That's how you integrate them. You integrate them by no longer being afraid of them, no longer being worried that a thought will come up that will derail you, that you'll get caught up in, because you're going to call it forth, right? Deliberately, consciously, and look it in the face and say, well, that's not so scary anymore, right? You're going to drop the other shoe instead of waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? Every negative thought, condition, and problem is a positive desire, intention. Hear this. That negative conversation with your friend, all of those conditions, all those problems are actually positive desires. On the other side of it is the positive intention, the positive desire. What Abraham Hicks and other spiritual teachers say, the other side of the stick, right? The other end of the stick. So if you say, I am always broke and never have money, that is the negative condition. You're focused, your attention is on the negative condition. Right? Now you're going to have the feelings. Instead, money abundance is always flowing to me, providing me exactly what I want and desire when I want and desire it. That's the thought. That's the feeling that you can conjure the feeling of that statement, right? Instead of saying, I hate being single and alone, I'm loving myself and who I am, and I'm excited to share my life with a special person. Hear the difference in this. Hear it, guys. On every negative condition, every negative thought has the positive desire. That's what you've got to pull the thread and find that positive desire. And it's pretty easy. You just flip the stick, flip the script. It's right there, right in the wide open, right? Let's unpack this a little bit more. Who is your attention? Where? You're your attention. That's who your attention is. But where is your attention? Right? Is your attention on the desire and your intention? Right? You're always intending something. Right? You're always intending something. When you're looking at problems, when you're looking at negative conditions, when you're worried about a negative thought will come, then you're intending that. Right? When you name the problem or point out and resist the negative without integrating it, hear this, without integrating, without feeling it, integrating it, and then turning it into that desire and moving your attention to the seed of positive desire and intention in each negative thought or condition, you are negatively intending. Hear this. That's the opposite of what we're talking about, desire, intention. You're always intending something. And when your attention's focused on the negative, focused on the problem, all your attention's there, instead of moving your attention to the seed of that positive desire and intention that's within each negative condition, each negative event, then you are negative intending, right? Reshape the energy flow. Change the belief filter, right? Change the filters. Right? It's the same energy. You need only change the filter, right? Negative or unwanted cannot continue to persist and exist in your life experience unless you believe it can. Hear this. It can't. Once you drop the other shoe, once you're looking it in the face, it can't continue to exist unless you believe it can, unless you desire it. Right? That is how to integrate and dissolve negative thoughts. I am your host, Tom Caron, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, like and share our videos. That's how we get our message out. Hit us up on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful, on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Caron, our website at tomcaron.com or BeSomethingWonderful.com, or write me anytime at info@BeSomethingWonderful.com. Guys, share the message. Share the YouTube channel of Be Something Wonderful on your social media with your friends, your families, and others. We're growing. I love it. The message is getting out. This is Tom with great love. Until next time, see you soon.